Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything while keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy and safe Halloween. With all the parents and kids out and about, they encourage drivers to be careful and respectful of trick-or-treaters. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care. Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings, your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. It is Ticket Weeknights, kicking you off here on a Monday evening. None other than Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. Tom joins us every week here on our VIP line, brought to you by Aloe Fiber. Aloe Fiber is where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. Let's bring him in, lead sports columnist of the Omaha World Herald, Tom Shatel. Tom, how's it going this Monday evening?
Good. It's still warm out, and we had a coach at AD today talking about officials.
Hey, always fun. We'll get into that in just a sec. But, Tom, we got a sports equinox today. The 4 major leagues, and we got even some soccer on. What's on your TV tonight?
Well, little thing I'd like to call a World Series. Dodgers are on, and I'm it's not over yet. The Yankees, it's never over. So, watching, holding my breath, all that stuff, yelling, screaming. But yeah, it will not be soccer. I can promise you that.
Same. Did you get the Kirk Gibson flashbacks from Freddie Freeman's Grand Slam in Game 1?
Yeah, I did. And, the more stuff came out, it was almost in the same section, landed in almost the same section. He had been injured. I mean, he didn't limp to the plate, but it was sort of the same thing in a lot of ways. And somebody came up with this thing and said it was the exact same time of night. I mean, that blew me away. So the only difference was I wasn't at the Oklahoma City Holiday Inn like I was in 1988 after having covered K-State, Oklahoma during the day, a total blowout. And that was also the day some Husker fans will remember Barry Sanders coming to Lincoln. It was like a 60-40 game or 80-40 or a very high scoring Oklahoma State Nebraska game that day. But yeah, I was sitting on the edge of my bed in the hotel room at Holiday Inn and screaming. Walked outside screaming at everybody. So yeah, it was. Didn't do that Friday night, but same chills. Yes.
My uncle is a Dodgers fan. I don't know how he got there, but he has been going as far back as I can remember. He was pretty excited. I timed it perfectly, Tom. You get in the rhythm of watching enough baseball, you just kind of know, especially with the pitch clock. I had looked down to check a message on my phone, and I looked up just in time to see Freeman swing. So I was milliseconds away from missing the moment for the first time, and now you've seen it twice.
Yeah. So see, you're into analytics, and I'm not. So I maybe just had a feeling, or maybe it was something I ate. But yeah, it was incredible.
Game 3 tonight, but Tom, we're diving into Nebraska football. Their road loss to Ohio State, 21-17. You mentioned it, so let's start with it. The officiating. You heard from Matt Rule and Troy Dannon today speaking about it. What were your biggest takeaways from not just what they said, but how they said it?
First of it was unbelievable that they said it. Usually coaches and ADs run from talking about officials like Rip Wheeler approaching with a cooler. You want to get as far away from that as possible. The only thing that can happen is bad. You'll get fined, or the officials will get mad at you and come at you even harder. But God, the way they did it also was just incredible. Rule is so polished and just so savvy with this thing, and he where most coaches would say, "I really can't talk about it." He talked about it for almost 10 minutes, and it was great stuff. It was insightful. He showed empathy for the officials. Talked about all this replay, and it's got to be hard on these guys, all the thoughts in their head. I feel for them. We make mistakes. They make everybody. It's a game of mistakes, and so on and so forth. But he also talked about the times that they've been wronged, and he kind of slipped those in there. Like, yeah, we had a couple replays go against us last year, and the league called us back and said that those replays were wrong, and we don't want to hear "I'm sorry" anymore. And so it was really an interesting little talk, message, and Troy Dannon outside, and I got him out in the foyer area there, and same thing, talking about, he talked with Commissioner Tony Petitti on Sunday, and asked for the league to release a statement. Don't just apologize to us. Tell the world you screwed up, and they did, and he appreciated that, and we need to work to make this. I told Tony, he calls him Tony, of course he does. He told Tony, we need to find a way to make this better. We need to help these guys. It needs to be more consistent, not only in the Big Ten, but on national level. How you call targeting, how you deal with all of a sudden offensive pass interference is now a thing, and that's being called different ways. so on and so forth. So the message from both men was, we are not here to fight officials. We're here to help them. We want to, we're here to fight for them. And it was really interesting. I've never heard that before, quite like that. And will it have an impact? I don't know, but it can only help. I mean, officials are only human. I mean, they're, they're. If I've seen enough college basketball coaches go after these guys, and I've sat on press row, I've heard the stuff they've said, and these guys, they're only human, and they, if you get on official long enough in a basketball game, you're going to get a T, and you might get another one, and then so. And I think the same is true in football. You don't see too many coaches work officials. Jim Harbaugh did 2 times ago when they were in Lincoln, the Adrian Martinez game.
Yeah, 2021 night game.
Yeah, Harbaugh was working the officials like Coach K. He was always, every time out, every stoppage, he was on them. And it was like watching a basketball coach. You don't see that often in football. But I think it's very smart. It's I don't know if it'll help, but I think it can't hurt, because they're getting a lot of calls go against them, and I don't mean to ramble here, but it's not Texas A&M. It's not 17 penalties where I was told by a former Big 12 official that, well, yeah, that was not a coincidence. Nebraska was leaving the Big 12, and that was like the going away present. So, so I don't think the Big Ten's out to get Nebraska. It wouldn't make sense. They need Nebraska to be good, and they need Nebraska to win games in a bowl games. So
they do, but they probably also want Ohio State in the college football playoff. And I don't mean to come off as saying it's rigged. I really don't think it is, because I just think that, like Matt Rule's saying, it's a tough job. And here's the thing, Tom, you, me, the rest of the audience listening here tonight, or that will listen on podcast, we watch more Nebraska than we do any other team, right? So we just have that kind of selection bias that, everything goes against Nebraska, this and that. But it does kind of feel like, Nebraska is still the new kid on the Big Ten block, maybe just because they're more of a prominent program than a Maryland or a Rutgers who joined not long after Nebraska. Again, the fix is not in. Refs make mistakes. But it does still kind of feel like Nebraska's the new kid on the block and maybe not getting the full respect. You mentioned Harbaugh. I remember even Brett Bielema earlier this year in Lincoln kind of doing that same thing too.
Yeah, I don't get that feeling anymore. I think we're way past that. Nebraska needs to start acting like a winning program, and sometimes winners get calls and losers don't. I don't know why that is, but I've just noticed that over the years that I don't remember Osborne not getting a lot of calls. It's of course here comes the Texas. Okay, that was the 1 second deal. Was trying to get Texas in the BCS champion? Yes, sure it was.
Mm-hmm.
Was the next year, the A&M deal? That was another deal, but that was ridiculous. That's just the Big 12, I guess. But no, I think Nebraska's. I agree with you, but also Ohio State had a kind of a tough targeting call at the end of that, and now they didn't penalize Day for his little outburst when they've shown that they would. But I think they got Ohio State targeting could have backfired on that. I mean, if Nebraska had been up for it, they could have gone down and scored again. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's really interesting, but I mean, and then you had there was a couple of controversial calls in the Oregon-Ohio State game.
Yep.
I don't know who you want to win there. You want them both to win. So for the Big Ten. So yeah, I think there's still a little Ohio State-Michigan paranoia, but as we go farther into this thing with the West Coast teams and, frankly, Ohio State-Michigan not meaning as much, I think we'll get away from a little bit of that. But again, I don't like talking about it myself because I think it's an excuse. I think there's a million ways to win and lose a game. Officiating is just one of them. There's other plays you could have made. There's stops you could have made. I don't like writing about it. I don't like using it. In the case of the A&M game, I keep bringing that up, but it was warranted. That was very unusual. But one thing Dan said today was, one game we get 5 penalties, the next week we get 12, and we're playing the same way. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, and there's always going to be differences between crews, right? They're maybe held to the same standard, but again, they're humans. They make their mistakes, and they get things right too. But let's move off of the refs then, Tom, onto the play on the field. Screengate, I guess, is what we're calling this now. That's been the talk of the town for 48 hours or so. Yeah, your reaction to Screengate.
Well, my problem with screens is if you're not going to block it, don't do it.
Simple, yeah.
Of course, if you're not going to block it, what can you run? The answer is 0.
Nothing.
You got to block. So the best play calls are the ones that work. And I had a very astute reader email me saying, "Yeah, I think this screen gate or screen stuff is like the old short side option." And he was like, "Whatever happened to that offensive coordinator?" Oh yeah, he went on to win 3 national championships. And so, that people used to complain, but people will always complain about the offensive coordinators. That's a job. Now, I've never met a popular offensive coordinator in Nebraska ever.
Who's been the most popular though, if you had to guess?
Well, Osborne.
Well, sure. Since then,
nobody. Solich. People wanted him to. They didn't even know what his offense was. Besides, Jamal Ward throwing deep or running. And then it became a deal with calling plays. Who's gonna call the plays for Frank? Is it Turner Gill or somebody? And so Callahan had Sean Watson. Well, people couldn't stand that guy. And then you had Tim Beck. I remember Tim Beck's first press conference when he was hired by Bo. He looked around the room and he said, "Be gentle, guys." And I'll never forget that. I go, "Well, welcome to the club, Tim Beck. Welcome to the club. Be gentle." So nobody's ever been gentle. Danny Langsdorff, I don't think people really even knew who he was or knew what he was doing. That was from Mike Riley's 3 years, and they went to 2 bowl games. So, but I don't think he was a controversial guy. And then you had Frost, and he had a couple of that, but that was Frost's offense and so on and so forth. Whipple, people kind of like Whipple. He was kind of a no BS guy who would tell you what he thought. And so I guess maybe Whipple, but he wasn't there long enough. And then all of a sudden he was trying to throw the ball when people were trying to run it. So I don't want him to run it. So I don't know.
And then he got taken out on the sideline at Rutgers and was coaching on crutches there the last couple weeks of the year.
Yeah. So maybe they felt sorry for him. I always liked Whipple. He was kind of a no nonsense old school guy, but yeah, he wasn't that. When they lost, he was probably, he was a bum. And they beat Iowa. All of a sudden, he's got it figured out. So generally, offensive coordinators are only as good as their players, and that's just the truth. They try to scheme it up, and Osborne used to do stuff. Of course, I would never see it. I don't have that kind of. I don't have an eye for stuff during the games. But I would hear opposing coaches tell me, well, yeah, Tom runs basically 4 plays, but he does them every game. He does them in a different way, and he changes a thing here or there in the way they block it, and we never saw it coming. And so, so there's things like that but Tom was really a genius and all that stuff. And yet there are people, probably me, telling me that he had to throw the ball more. Well, now I'm going to run the damn ball guy. So I don't know what the world's coming to, but yeah, I just don't. It's been a week since we've talked, and last Tuesday, Marcus Shatel got up there and didn't show a lot of confidence. He didn't give off a lot of confidence that you thought he knew what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to be reminded to run. I have to remind myself to run the ball. Well, no, that's not no.
Doesn't fly.
And then the thing about the yards per play, I'm not as worried about yards per play as I am. To me, a successful offensive line lines up and knocks the other guy back about 5 yards, or they plant the other guy on his back. That's successful offense for me. I'm not worried about the actual plays being called or yards per all these analytics now that people love. That's great, but Nebraska's problem is when they've been blocking at times and they haven't been blocking at other times, or identity. I think identity is a big thing. It's a big thing with me, and I think offense. You need to know who you are and what you do well. And they brought in receivers who aren't blockers, and so there were guys in the portal who could help Dylan Raiola make plays. Well, but they're not blockers, so.
And that's a loaded thing in itself, Tom, because the guys that they brought in the transfer portal for the receiver position have played a lot of college football. You're not asking them to be road graders and that their primary job is blocking, but they've played enough college football that shouldn't be necessarily something you need to coach that hard. Just like you've played college football for 3 years, just go block someone to the bare minimum and you're fine. Yeah,
and I think it's a thing you have to be. It's kind of a learned skill, and blocking in physical football is an all-the-time thing. I've said that before. It's an all-the-time thing. It has to be part of the culture, part of the habit. And I'm not sure Texas and Wake Forest were really doing that. So, yeah, but who knows? But I just know it hasn't been getting done. And I think their strongest pieces really are the running backs and the tight ends. And so, and like I've said, and again, I certainly don't know offense, but I know what I've seen, and I know what I've seen over the years. And some of the best offenses run the ball and go off play action, and they use tight ends. They throw the ball deep when they're capable of it. Certainly, Dylan Raiola is very capable of it. So anyway, I don't know what's going to happen after the season, but I think. Let's get to a bowl game first. Let's get that figured out, and then see how many more they can win, and then sort it all out after that. But I'm not feeling confident about the offense. Going forward, I think that there'll need to be some new pieces, and and possibly a new coordinator.
Fair enough. Let's take our first break of the show. When we get back, we will be on stream, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, as well as Allo Channel 961. Monday Night Football comes your way here in just a sec on the radio waves, but stick with us on the streams. Austin Norman, Tom Shatel, more right after this.
This October, the Bonsall Spooktacular 10 event is back with spooktacular savings all month long. Stop by anytime in October to discover incredible deals, including hot tubs as low as $5,995. That's up to 20% off MSRP. Plus, enjoy 10% off infrared and traditional saunas. Don't miss out on these hauntingly good offers. Visit Bonsall Pool and Spa today. Bonsall Pool and Spa, every day made better at 33rd and Pioneers.
Davis Plumbing is a locally owned company specializing in a wide range of plumbing services for both commercial and residential customers. Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and has a team of experienced plumbers ready to help you with any project, big or small. Customer satisfaction and peace of mind is their number one priority. So for any commercial or residential project, give Davis Plumbing a call today at 402-525-6922. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Hey, Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer. Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Listening to the Husker Football Hour here on 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com, the free 93.7 The Ticket app for your phone, and on our streams brought to you by our good friends at Starter Heyman Jewelers and Allo. Allo also sponsors our VIP line. Allo is where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. I'm Austin Norman, joined by Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. Tom, one last thing on the offense before we move into the Husker football defense, then jump around the Big Ten a little bit. You've heard it. I've heard it. There's been a lot of blame placed on Marcus Satterfield. Others saying players have to go make plays. But when you only score 17 points and you miss opportunities left and right, it's never just on one person. Every group that has a stake in the offense can be better, right? That's why I don't like just saying, oh, fire the offensive coordinator, everything will get fixed. Even last year, oh, they're just a quarterback away. I mean, it's the easy argument to make, but it's not necessarily the right argument to make.
I agree, and and there was another piece to that when they got down there at the goal line. Dan today was talking about how the official, he was standing down there and he said the ball should have been placed at the 1 yard line. And, a rule sent in a 1 yard play to score. And all of a sudden the ball was at the 2, that the officials had somehow moved the ball back to the 2. So, and that should have been caught, and it wasn't. So, but 1 yard play, 2 yard play, get in the end zone. I thought they had that when they played Purdue, and then against Rutgers, they got down there, and then they handed off to, I think it was Dowdell, and maybe it was Emmett Johnson, but it was a right tackle. And then they just, got right in the end zone, which was great to see. We didn't see it last year. So, yeah, I think that's very fair. They don't have all the pieces yet. Okay, they just don't. It's not Indiana where you're loading up on 20-some transfers and kind of rolling the dice that these guys are older and they're all gonna fit together. This is a slower deal, and but yeah, I think that it's one thing that I will say, and I will say it all off season. I think having Dylan Raiola is, I think he'll be like the Pied Piper for bringing in a lot of transfers. I mean, really quality guys, whether you're a lineman or a receiver, especially a receiver. Yeah, I think there's, as you've seen, they've already got a couple of flips. I'm not Mr. Recruiting, as you know, but I do see on my Twitter feed once in a while, giant news, breaking news. This lineman flips, and now maybe a tight end from Omaha flips. Maybe, I mean, who knows? But I just think it's not done yet. But there's enough pieces there to be scoring more points. And I don't know. We can go on and on about whether they should be running or doing this or that, but it's about execution. And but I still don't know that some of these plays are really going to work or not. So I don't have confidence in just listen to Marcus. He's a really good guy, but I don't have confidence. Just listen to him. So, but I'm the sports writer. He's the coach.
Let's talk about the defense here for a minute here, Tom. 14 points allowed through the first 3.5 quarters, but as soon as Nebraska takes the lead, Ohio State responds with an explosive play in the best drive of the day, really, for them. No third down conversion on that drive. Miscommunication, some nice plays by Ohio State in there. They hold the Buckeyes below 300 total yards, less than 75 rushing yards, only 11 first downs, 1 of 10 on third down, 1 of 2 on fourth down. Kind of feels like the same story that had been written the last few years. Defense plays well enough to keep Nebraska in the game, but maybe just one drive short at the end.
Yeah, they won several battles, but they lost the war. But when they were winning those battles, especially stopping that run game, I mean, Ohio State came out of that game. Their fans are pissed.
Yeah.
What in the heck is going on here? I mean, you couldn't run it on Nebraska. We thought we had great running backs. We thought we were, one of the top teams in the country. But Nebraska played that way. This is as I wrote before this game, Nebraska is a good football team. They had a very bad day at Indiana.
Yeah.
And they played well this year. And the defense, when the defense has played really well and showed up, and the rest of the team seems to follow suit. They seem to set the tone for how a game is going to go and whether they're going to have a chance to win. And if the defense has been off, then the whole thing has kind of been off. So these last 4 games, I think the defense had, starting Saturday, they've got to take control of the season. They've got to take control of the UCLA game and set the tone, swarming the tackles, hitting hard, throwing up the wall, making plays in the secondary. Ohio State was just going to too much. Well, those receivers are NFL guys. They're going to break open. They're going to get open. They're going to make a play. And Will Howard's good enough to get him the ball. So, but that's kind of all they did. And so I feel like Nebraska's defense is, okay, no more off days. No more off days, and Nebraska will have a chance to win every game going forward.
And it's maybe not fair to ask even more of the defense that, again, held Ohio State under 300 total yards, held them to 21 points. But, Tom, this is where I think this defense needs to prove that it has another level to it, right? If it wants to be a great defense or an elite defense, the guys have to find a way to step up and make one more play. It's a really good defense. I don't want that to be lost. But if defense is the strength of the team, find one more drive in. You find one more drive, a good play calling, of execution, whatever it is, because you can depend on the defense, to keep you in games. But the defense still hasn't won Nebraska a game like this.
Yeah, it feels like that has to happen. Although I would say the best team on their schedule right now, Indiana is up there, Ohio State, but Colorado, the way they're playing, and the rest of the defense won that game.
True.
So they've been there a lot, and they just have to get there. And they're not going to play an Indiana, Ohio State offense the rest of the way. Dare I say it? As soon as I say it, it'll happen. But, USC is certainly capable. USC is sort of a mixed bag of, you don't know what's going to happen game to game with those guys. So I felt like this is certainly a game where the defense comes out, sets the tone, and, make a bunch of plays, and yes, you're right. Raise their level. Make sure UCLA doesn't get anything, and get that 6th win and exhale. And I'd like to see him do that and see what happens when everybody exhales. See how they play the last 3. So they got to get it first.
You brought up UCLA, you brought up Colorado in your last 2 answers, and that points me this direction. Eric Bieniemy, that's the commonality here between UCLA and Colorado. What do you remember about Eric Bieniemy in the Big 8, Big 12, and then what have you seen from him as a coordinator here in his first year in college?
Yeah, I mean, he's very good, and I think he should be a head coach. And I could see him one day, in college being the head coach. I don't know if the NFL could ever figure out how they hire or, what those owners do sometimes. But, yes, he's excellent as a player. He was tough. He was heady. He was a pain in the butt. He always seemed to be going through the line and getting a bunch of yards and scoring touchdowns. And nobody will ever forget the 1990 game in the rain, where Bieniemy led the comeback. And so, yeah, it's a name everybody knows well. I don't know if he's been back to Nebraska in a while. That's a heck of a question, because he was at the Chiefs for so long. I don't know if he was with UCLA with Jim Mora.
No, wasn't there at the time.
Yeah, so I don't know when the last time he was here, but he's coming back this Saturday.
Do you think there's going to be a reaction from Husker fans, or is Bieniemy being up in the press box guy that won't get any run in the stadium to get welcomed, shall we say?
No, and I don't think, and that was so long ago, I don't think anybody's going to worry about him this week. I mean, they may need to worry about him if his offense is going up and down the field on Nebraska's defense, and they'll need to worry about him. But, hey, so much time has passed that, what? A lot of people up here are big Chiefs fans. They make him a standing ovation. He's part of a lot of Chiefs, Super Bowls and big wins. So they know him from that too.
Fair enough. On Nebraska, right? A loss to Ohio State. They played better than they did the week before against Indiana. Tom, on a scale of 1 to 10, or however you want to, grade this question, how confident are you that Nebraska can carry this type of performance over, right? Hopefully get a win, get the 6th win to get bowl eligible and whatever. Do you trust this team to take the lessons they learned to feed off that championship mindset that Matt Rule said he heard from them at halftime for another week and then for the rest of the season?
Well, no, in a word, no, I don't trust them yet. No, until they do it. I barely picked them to win 7 games, and I was forced to do that by my colleagues. They didn't want me to. I was going to pick 6 of 6, and I said I haven't seen them win 6 games in 8 years. So why would I pick 7 or 8 wins? I mean, no, I haven't seen it yet. But the championship mindset, that whole speech was very interesting to me. And, championship mindset is when you win a championship. And that didn't happen Saturday. But I think what Rule was trying to say was they're starting to get it. They're starting to figure it out on their own. And he saw that happen between the Indiana game and the Ohio State game. And then he saw it on the field Saturday. And he felt something, he felt the whole thing kind of move, like something big happened. And so I think he was really, and I thought it was the right thing to do. He turned toward the future and the positives and what they could be, not necessarily what they haven't been, which you could have said, and I've been writing that column for 20 years. I was very happy not to write it again. But yeah, I mean, you could dwell on what they didn't do Saturday, but I think he saw things that they could do, that they could be, that only he sees every day in practice, and then he saw in the game. What I saw were 3 things that I think give me confidence that they can have a good chance to win Saturday and going forward. That is, defense playing at a high level. They got to do that every game. Dylan Raiola running. Okay, he's not this sort of a fragile person in the pocket who never leaves. He runs and he can make people hurt, but with his legs, he can make plays with his legs. Not going to run the option. It's not a quarterback run game. It's a quarterback who runs, and that's okay. I mean, he's not quite to the Mahomes level. Mahomes dances down the sidelines and kind of dares people to knock him out and get a flag. It's he kind of gets on your nerves a little bit that way, but he's very, very deceptive and making plays with his legs. And I noticed Dylan is kind of starting to branch out, and today Rule said that Dylan came up with that on his own. That he's a step ahead in a lot of ways, and correcting his own mistakes and seeing what he should or what he can do, and so that's kind of fun. So I like that dimension of the offense. It's a big help.
And I think that's the way the quarterback run is best for Nebraska, Tom, because, maybe there's a role for Heinrich Harburg, but if you're going to pass with Heinrich Harburg in the game to go away from your tendency, well, you just took the ball out of the hands of your better passer. So I think when Nebraska is at its best, it's not with design quarterback run, it's with quarterback run after the recognition of the coverage like Dylan Raiola did on Saturday. And
it's the threat of the run that kind of freezes the defense. Well, maybe I shouldn't cover this guy, or maybe we shouldn't rush this many, or maybe we shouldn't blitz because he's gonna go get 8 yards. So it's a very handy thing to have. I really liked that on Saturday. I thought that was a good dimension at this point in the season to show. And my third thing is John Hall.
Yes.
Now, if he's going to do that, was a completely different thing. That was like something just fell out of the sky and just who's this guy that's drilling these field goals down the middle from 40 and 50 yards? I mean, with authority and no problems at all. Like, I could do this all day. I mean, if that's what we're going to get, then they're going to win. They're going to win a couple, maybe more. I mean, they're going to, because that's confidence. It all ties into confidence. And so Rule said after that game, he made it sound like the team was bonding and coming together and really kind of figuring it out together. We'll know on Saturday how much of that is true. But I will say this: I've really been impressed with how Matt Rule has managed the team the last 2 weeks. There's an adult in the room. He's been here before. I feel like he's pushing some buttons that are the right buttons. I feel like nobody's panicked, and they came back stronger last week. The fishbowl is not for everybody. Nebraska football is not for everybody. It's not for the faint of heart or the coach who doesn't want to be criticized, or the player who wants to be, everything's always good. Well, it's not always good. And when you lose Indiana like that, people lose their minds. And so, it's sort of, I've seen this in other coaches. It gets into the way they coach, and it gets into the way people play, and it becomes a thing. And it didn't become a thing in the last 2 weeks. I think it's, and I think Rule was doing that again Saturday after the game, managing it, getting ahead of things, trying to, okay, people won't be upset here, but he's going to turn the narrative around right there and get them thinking positive. And that's special. That's different. Not everybody can do that. And and this is a different place.
Yeah.
This is a real different place. Not everybody has this. And that's what makes it great, but that's what makes it hard too.
I think there's some irony, not in a bad way, Tom, but Matt Rule is very much about the work, not the talk. And yet he's so good at talking. Like, yeah, he sermonizes, he rambles and whatnot. But if I was a player in that locker room, I'd be intoxicated listening to Matt Rule talk.
Isn't that something? That's right. That's absolutely right.
It's impressive. He's found a way to control the narrative for the most part. And now, of course, all the questions will, be answered by the play on the field. Quick spin around the Big Ten, Tom. Who is the best team in the Big Ten? Is it Oregon? Is it Indiana? Do you give a nod to Penn State at all? Where are you out of the top of the conference right now?
Well, I got to go with Oregon. But Indiana's, they'll play Ohio State. We'll figure it out. And Ohio State was right with Oregon. Okay, they were right there. But just something about them I don't quite get or don't feel right about yet. Indiana to me is a machine that, what are they, 7-0, 8-0 or something?
8-0 now.
Yeah. And I don't know who they've beaten. I don't care. But eventually they're going to go to Michigan State, and that'll be a little harder. They went to Northwestern. They beat UCLA on the road. But this will be a harder one. And then they play Michigan at home when they go to Ohio State. So we're going to find out about them. But I think I would go Oregon, Indiana, Ohio State, and excuse me, I'm forgetting somebody.
Penn State.
I'm totally forgetting somebody named Penn State. I would say Penn State number 2. Okay. They're going to play Ohio State this week. How can I forget James Franklin? He's always on my mind. I'd say Oregon, Penn State, Indiana, Ohio State.
Tom, this is a heck of an opportunity for Penn State, except we've said this year after year, right? Penn State will do this. They'll beat everyone on their schedule, except Ohio State and maybe Michigan, depending on the year. Is it now or never for James Franklin at Penn State? Are they going to be okay with him continually churning out 10-2 and low playoff seeds, or does he have to get Ohio State this year?
Well, yeah, I think. But see, I think this is what's going to be interesting is there's going to be a bottom line to all this for fans. It's going to be, are you in the playoff or not? And if you're making the playoff, then it's going to be, well, why aren't you winning the playoff, or why aren't you playing for the national championship? But this thing about conference championships and Rose Bowls, that's over with. It's going to be about, are you making the playoff? And that was hard to say for a fan when it was just 4. But now there's might be 4 spots in the Big Ten. So if you're not getting one of those, what kind of year did you have? Well, it went to a bowl. Well, what does that mean now? So eventually that'll all happen. I just think they're going to make the playoff, and that'll be good enough. Yeah, do they want to beat Ohio State? Sure they do, but beat Ohio State and you lose your first playoff game, then everybody's mad again. So, eventually it's going to be all about the playoff, and not necessarily, one of the rivalry games will be for the people who don't make the playoffs, and the other game, like, are you in, or where are you in the league? Well, as long as you're in the top 3 or 4, that's fine. I don't think people are going to quibble as long as they get, Now, do they want to win the league and host, or be off the first week? See, that's what winning the league will be all about. I really don't think winning league championship. I think that's not going to go away, but it's not going to be very important. I mean, not really to fans. I think, yeah, we won the league, but immediately when they celebrate the conference championship, it's like, who are we playing? Where are we? Well, what's our bracket?
Yeah, it kind of feels more like, the March Madness model or celebrating a division title in the NFL model.
Yes. So that's where we're at. I'm sure Penn State would always love to beat Ohio State. But see, eventually that used to mean you're in the Big Ten championship game. And I mean, a Penn State Oregon a Big Ten championship game would mean they're both in the playoff.
Yeah.
And whoever wins gets the week off, and the other one gets to host. And that would be cool too. So if you lose a Big Ten championship game, you're probably going to host. You're probably going to be one of the top 4 seeds who have to play the first round, and you're going to host. And that'll be cool. That'll be really cool for fans. So it'll be some consolation, I guess. But that's where we're going, and Nebraska fans will be part of that. Hopefully, one day. Where good year, bad year. I don't know. Did they make the playoff, or did they go to some bowl game? Right now, some bowl game sounds really good.
That it does. Huskers 1 win away. They get UCLA at home on Saturday. Touchdown, and a half-point kicker, I think, for the Huskers as a spread right now. Thomas, you look at this game, who's the most important player on offense, the most important player on defense for the Huskers on Saturday?
Oh, boy. I think because it might rain. It's Raiola. And sure. I think to take care of the ball, UCLA's run defense they're not bad. They give up more in the air. But I'll say Dylan, and just take care of the ball, make sure everything's on schedule, get the ball in the end zone. Defense, it sure seems like whenever Ty Robinson is on the prowl, things happen. The linebackers are and now they've got all these guys on the defensive line emerging. But it sure seems like when Ty Robinson is the man in the middle, the man of action, he's in that backfield and he's throwing people around, that the crowd gets amped, everybody gets fired up, and good things happen. So I'll go with the 2 obvious.
I like it. Hey, obvious still counts, and you're going to get it right. You can't be wrong. So, Tom, as always, appreciate your time here on a Monday evening. About 10 minutes till first pitch in Game 3 of the World Series. Hang up on us. Go get comfy. Go get situated, and go Dodgers.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
You betcha. Bye. Tom joined us on our Aloe Fiber VIP line. Aloe Fiber is where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. That'll do it for me. I'm getting out of here. Don't go anywhere, though. We got plenty more coming your way here on Ticket Weeknights. As always, thanks to Tom for joining us. Thanks to you for listening. Your comments on the text line and stream did not go unnoticed. We'll start getting to those in the future with Tom. For him, for Jay, for DP, for Strick, I'm Moss. I'm signing off for the day. I'll be back tomorrow, 2 to 4 Central, on the block with E-Strick. Talk to you then.